recording. And Bob, I'd like to hand it over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Cheryl, for that warm welcome. And also welcome to everybody to today's webinar, Dynamics User Groups, where we are cultivating communities for Microsoft Dynamics users. Again, my name is Bob Baresh. I'll be presenting today. I'm the GPUG Membership Manager. A very big thank you goes out to Socius for inviting us to present a little overview of the user groups to their customers today. So thank you very much for that. We'll just jump right in to today's agenda. We're going to kind of just briefly discuss a little bit about, what about the user groups. We do have a guest speaker today, so we'll have a member testimonial. And then also we'll talk more in depth about the membership programming and benefits. A quick overview of each of our user groups. We'll present to you that exclusive membership offer. And then as Cheryl had mentioned, please feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation, interrupt and stop, and we'll discuss them. But in case you're afraid to interrupt and want to save your questions to the end, we'll see if there's maybe still a few minutes towards the end of today's presentation to address some of those questions. So hopefully this agenda will meet your expectations for what today's session's all about. So jumping right into what are the Dynamics user groups. You can see at the bottom of our slide here, we do have the 4 user groups representative. Oops, that wasn't supposed to jump like that for me. So basically we have AXUG, CRMUG, GPUG, and NavUG. Our parent company is called Dynamic Communities, Inc. So I'm not sure why this keeps going. We're going to flip over to just normal view. So that way it doesn't keep doing that for me. Oops. So Dynamic Communities, Inc. is our parent organization, and they're the umbrella. You may never hear of them and may never really ever need to remember them, but that's how the our organization is set up with 4 subsidiaries under that. Each of our user groups runs as its own separate subsidiary. Andy Hafer started the AX user group about 10 years ago. He was an AX customer. He was at a convergence conference on a panel, customer panel with some other CIOs, and he thought, gosh, wouldn't it be great if we could just talk to other users year-round instead of just once a year on a panel at a conference? So although the idea of a user group was not new, the concept of a Dynamics user group was born, and shortly thereafter Microsoft had received his idea of a user group, welcomed him, saw the great value in a user group for their Dynamics product lines, and especially since we were educating their customers at no expense of their own. And so shortly after, they said, hey, would you start a user group for GP? CRM shortly followed suit, and then NavUG had its own user group, but they just came on board with our organization. So the only product line that we are not a user group for is the Dynamics SL product. There is an SLUG out there, but they are their own separate entity, which is not part of DCI. What are the user groups? We are a membership-based global community of users for the Dynamics AX, CRM, GP, and Nav software products. As I mentioned, SL is not one of the products we have a user group for. We are independent of Microsoft, so we are not part of the Microsoft organization. So that makes us the largest independent group of users for the Microsoft Dynamics software solutions. We're a huge resource which provides numerous learning and educational opportunities for our users by users. So even though I mentioned we're independent, not part of Microsoft, they have officially recognized our organization with an alliance agreement. Basically all this is some legal jargon that allows them to state that they recognize AXUG, CRMUG, GPUG, and NavUG as the go-to user groups for these Dynamics product lines. So in a nutshell, that is basically who the Dynamics user groups are. So following suit here with what what we're all about. I put on our mission statement and our vision statement, and I'm not going to read it word for word, but the bottom line, our organizations were founded and put together with one common theme, and that's to provide learning and educational opportunities and resources for the end users of the Dynamics product lines. We're not here to sell you anything. We're not here to pitch you anything. We're just here to provide an environment where you can network with other users and learn from their successes as well as their failures. And hopefully you're willing to share some of your knowledge and contribute to the community as well to make it a great place for learning all around for anybody that participates. So I thought with that, it'd be great to maybe hear from one of our members. Hopefully Aaron is on the call with us today. Aaron Back is the information, great. Aaron is the Information Technology Systems Administrator for Gorilla Glue. That might be a company many of you are fairly familiar with. It's a popular product out in the industry. Just a little background on Aaron. So he is a customer of Socius as Dynamics GP and CRM. He's a GPUG member. He's a CRMUG member. He's our chairman for the GPUG Advisory Board. He's on our conference, Summit Conference Advisory Committee. He's the GPUG Summit IT Professional Track Leader. He's a GPUG's Reporting SIG Committee Leader. And he's also was nominated and earned the distinguished honor of being a GPUG All-Star. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Aaron to share a few words about his experiences and why he's part of the user groups.
Well, thank you, Bob. It's an honor to be here, and thank you for everyone for joining. And as Bob mentioned in the slide there, as you can see, I'm very active in the user group community. And for one top reason is that is the great benefits that I get out of it, not just personally, but in a company-wide environment or in a team environment or project environment. I look at it from those levels of how can I leverage the resources available through the different UGs to help with internal needs or internal projects or just general questions. It's my go-to place a lot of times for things. For me, it's access to great content is one thing. If I go out to gpug.com or crmug.com and I just peruse through the forums on out there and the posts that people put, a lot of times I just read those to get education for myself. A new issue come up that somebody had posted a question about, and I read through a lot of the answers, and you'll glean a lot of knowledge that way. And can potentially help you with a future project or initiative that you want to do with CRM or a GP or NAV or AX. You could implement something quickly without having to go through the pitfalls that somebody else went through, and we've learned from them. So that's one of the great areas I love to access. Another great area is they have is the Share My Code area. People always sharing either SQL snippet codes or various different code functions to grab data or to make updates into the system that typically it's geared towards your administrators or your IT professionals that they're always wondering, how can I make a quick fix to something or get some great data out of here? I don't know how to do it. Great place to go is to share the code. Another great area I look at that's very beneficial to me is networking. Knowing that I can connect with peers that are in my industry or using similar products that I use, whether it be one of the 4 listed here, or even add-ons to products that are listed here, that I can network with others that have either went through it, or maybe I can help somebody else out that's getting ready to go through an implementation of some sort and they have questions. So it's a give and take on both parts, but the benefits are huge there, knowing that I can connect with like folks. And then another great feature that I like is the ongoing local chapter meetings. Just sitting down with, again, like peers, on a specific topic or under a specific application, whether it be a GP or a CRM or NAV or AX. You can sit down with local chapter meetings, connect with like peers, and then ask questions. I remember specifically one GP chapter meeting I was at. We usually have time for a brief Q&A session, and that just spilled over into all kinds of various topics. People left with many notes, pages of notes jotted down of just ideas thrown out on the table or experiences that others have went through or answers to questions. And it was a great connection. And it all spawned from the topic of that day was GP security, of all things. So, but it just led into many different avenues. And so I think that's great to connect with the local chapter. Again, it's beneficial for me, and also I can bring back this information back to my company or to my team that I work with to understand better our application we're using day in and day out, or a project we're getting ready to start or in the middle of, and find answers and solutions to things. And so just kind of wrap up my brief little thing. I don't want to take time away from Bob here, but all these areas I just mentioned have really helped me grow in my understanding of the products that I use every day. And but if you think about it, no two companies are alike, so it's good to hear other people's experiences from their industry or their role that they're using the same product you use but in a different fashion. You never know what you can learn. And people look at things in all different manners and different approaches, so it's helped me to understand the products I use every day a lot better, and then turn around and be able to share that with others. I think it's just, again, it's a give and take, but it's a great benefit, and I've learned many different things. And one thing that has been a benefit along the way is it's saved time, money, and resources. Knowing that, hey, this area is getting phased out in the future, and we may need to take a different track with something. It's saved the time and money. Why pursue something if it's getting phased out? And then you pursue a better track of something within a project. So again, that's my experience and what I love about the community, and just great professional folks out there that are willing to spend a few moments of their time each day answering questions or learning themselves, and that's what makes it a great UG community. Bob, I'll turn it back over to you.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. I certainly appreciate it. You know, Aaron had mentioned a lot of the things he's been able to take away from the user group, and it's always great to hear from members. But Aaron is a huge contributor to the user group as well. He's dedicated a lot of time. He's a big advocate. He's very passionate about the user group, and so members can gain access into individuals with knowledge like Aaron. There's hundreds of people like Aaron out there that are very passionate and willing to share their knowledge, and so he's a very huge asset to our user groups. And so, Aaron, we thank you for that. You know, before we let Aaron go, because I know he's very busy, I think if I remember correctly, you're in the midst of a CRM upgrade.
We're actually in the midst of a CRM deployment. And then
okay.
we'll be doing an upgrade here shortly to CRM 2015 online. So that's our current, and with integration with GP.
Very nice. So that's probably consuming a lot of your time. So Aaron's going to be jumping off quickly, but before he does, I just wanted to see if maybe there was anybody that wanted to quickly ask Aaron any questions before he jumps off. All right. Well, if there are any questions, you can certainly forward them on to me, and we'll get them addressed. Again, Aaron, we certainly appreciate you taking time out of your busy work schedule to lend some of your experiences with us, and we'll look forward to you on the next event.
All right. Thank you, Bob.
All right. So Aaron had mentioned quite a number of different programming or benefits or aspects of the user groups, and so what I would like to spend the next several minutes here on is maybe running through and discussing a few of the highlights. There's a ton of benefits out there. These are maybe some of the top ones here. We'll briefly discuss chapter meetings, webinars, special interest groups, or as we refer to them as a SIG. discussion boards, academy training courses, our summit conference, and then the volunteering and leadership opportunities available to you. So jumping right into the chapter meetings, these are each user group has chapters scattered across the U.S. So when we say we're a global organization, we truly are. We have chapters across the North America and across Europe and maybe a few other smaller outlying areas, but some of the very heavily populated type of metro areas. And so a chapter is kind of a smaller subset of the user groups where folks can meet locally in an area. Each UG has a set number of different chapters we currently have, and I'm going to run through kind of a fact sheet, I guess, if you will, for each of the UGs towards the end of today's session, kind of covering all the various benefits. But it's a great place where you can share your knowledge. And just like I said, it's in person. It's peer-to-peer networking. You can meet folks in and about your local region and discuss and understand ideas that they're working through, so you can connect with them. Boost your training professional development. Each chapter is led by a local user member, so there is a volunteer opportunity to lead a chapter. Because we have 4 distinct user groups, and each user group has numerous chapters, there's no way representative from the user groups can be at each meeting, so we do have these chapters led by a local user. We do the heavy lifting for them, put together some of the educational sessions and topics and kind of the agenda and format. Real quickly, the format of these meetings is typically like a half-day type of a session. And they do cover a couple of learning opportunities and then some networking. And while I'm discussing this, since I think of the bulk of the folks on this call may be the Dynamics GP folks, as you can see, I do have the websites up for all of our user groups. They're basically an overlay of each other, so what I show you on one will be exactly similar to what you'll be able to find on any of our websites. But attending a local chapter meeting is free to our members. Anybody can attend if you have a membership with the user group. There's no registration fee. So I'm just out on GPUG.com under Learn and Engage, and I'm clicking under Attend a Local Chapter. This is, if you will, kind of the home page for GPUG chapters, and each chapter has its own specific community. And within that community, you can belong to the community. Let's just do a search, since I know Associates headquarters is in Ohio. Let's just do a search and see, what comes up for Ohio. So we have Youngstown, and I believe this one's Dayton. So I'm going to drill into this one a little bit further, details. So, it kind of gives you a little bit of an overview of what this event is. And you're going to find this is the similar format for any events that we do, whether it's a chapter or any of the other programming I cover. You're going to find this similar type of a layout. What's it about, audience, things of that nature. So here's kind of the agenda. This one hasn't been explicitly lined out yet because this meeting is going to take place in May. So it's a few months out. They may not have the specific agenda, but this is kind of the outline. And then you can click on the location. So this one's going to be Fifth Third Center in Dayton, Ohio. Over here on the side, registration details. I'm not able to register for this event because I'm not logged in. So the first thing I would need to do, we do have these little helpful videos over here as well on most of our pages if you need some assistance. But I'm just going to go ahead and sign in to this website. Hopefully it goes relatively quickly. It's always a risk when you're doing kind of a live demo. So since I'm already a member, it's easy for me to log in. If you notice on that right side, there was a Get Started button. So if I wanted to go to try to sign in, maybe my systems don't have my information, you can hit the Get Started button and launch from there. Maybe your organizations already have a membership, but we can definitely help out. But we'll just drill into any one of these particular events, the community pages. And this is really kind of an overview of any of the community pages. There's 4 discussions going on, 0 library content, 0 blogs for this one, and they have 27 members. I can drill onto those members, and I can see exactly who they are, and I can connect with them. I can reach out, and I can add as a contact, or I can send them a message. So this is another way you can communicate with folks, or I can just type in a first, last company or an email and search them out. So that's quickly is a real quick overview of our chapters. Each of our user groups do have chapters scattered across the globe, and it's always highly recognized as one of the top valuable member benefits, if you will. One of the other things that we do is hundreds and hundreds of webinars throughout the year. Each user group does a couple of hundred different webinars on a variety of different topics, and they're in a variety of different formats. Because we know everybody has different learning styles, different learning curves, we try to bring events to you that are virtual, so you don't have to leave the office and take extended time away to gain some education. So we do a lot of virtual type of events. So it's typically an hour out of your day to gain some knowledge. Whereas like our chapters, those are typically like a half day. So you're leaving the office for a half day to participate or attend. But workshops are like listen and learn presentations similar to today's event, and then gives you opportunities to ask questions. Roundtables, this is, these are audience participation is actually required to make these a successful type of an event where you're sitting around a virtual roundtable and interacting and discussing topics. How-tos, just kind of straightforward deep dives on specific features or functions where you kind of get a little quick glimpse under the hood as much as you can in, say, an hour. And then the One Source series. These are common theme webinars within a short time frame. I know as an example right now, across all 4 of our user groups, one of the biggest and most popular One Source series we've introduced to date is Excel. So we do more than just dynamics type trainings. We do have some trainings on other topics like Excel. I think we had 8 different courses which started in early February and have run through sometime in March. It's on a common theme. So let's just jump over. I'm going to go into GPUG.com. We're going to go into Access Webinars, I'm sorry, I wanted to go to not Webinars on Demand. Those are our recorded webinars, which is another big, huge benefit. Every single webinar we do is recorded. So if you miss it live, if you have a paid membership, you do have access to our content library, and you're able to view those in their recorded state. So I just clicked on the tag over here, One Source Series, and you can see right here, Excel One Source. We still have a few meetings left here on Excel One Source, and I'm just going to click to the next page because I know we have a time to upgrade is another One Source we have for GPUG as well. And again, there are One Source series for each of the UGs. I know Excel is not UG specific. It's a generic One Source we're doing for all 4. So getting to that Access Webinars on Demand. This is the content library where all of our recorded webinars are located, and I am logged in because my picture icon shows up, so I do have access to our recorded webinars. So if I want to search just webinar recordings, I hit the big button there, and this should pop up the various different folders. We try to categorize all of our recorded webinars. We can just type in a keyword. Let's type in report and see what comes up. We should have a ton of different sessions that come up with report as the keyword search, and these are all the various different webinars. If we just jump into this one, we'll just quickly show you what the format looks like. You can see all the downloads. This has been a pretty popular one, and then right here is where you can download the attachments. You'll get the video and audio. So those are some of the webinars. Partner showcases are also another valuable webinar to members. This is an opportunity for you to view third-party add-on products. Remember that we do not share our registration lists. You don't have to worry about soliciting after the fact. So when you're viewing a partner recording, it's just really a quick infomercial or commercial to educate you on what their product does. Maybe you're considering it. Maybe you're looking for a certain application to fill a gap that GP doesn't fill. You can view these showcase type webinars to check out that product line. So those are the webinars across the UGs. Special interest groups or SIGs. This is where members gather with a common interest, whether it's by their role or by their industry or maybe by a feature, function, or process within the Dynamics product line itself. And this is where they can gather and share ideas, information, and experiences. Aaron had mentioned, he was on a security SIG call, and before you know it, it kind of branched out into, a number of other topics. So that's kind of a roundtable type format. Great place to get answers for questions from others who walk in your shoes. So if somebody's a CFO and you're on a CFO type of a SIG, people may have experienced some of the things that you're experiencing and can maybe help address some of those solutions for you. And then also, again, another opportunity to hear what's working or what isn't from real dynamic software end users. We'll just pop out here to crmug.com since I've been using GPUG, and we'll just learn from others like me. This is the special interest groups homepage, and again, this is the same format as all the websites where you can jump on out there. You can do specific searches. So they have a special interest group for CRM administrators and IT support, or financial services industries, manufacturing. So several different types of SIGs out there, and again, each UG has quite a number of different special interest groups for that particular Dynamics product line. Discussion boards. This is another very important benefit that we hear a lot of members talking about. It's an opportunity for them to maybe get a quick answer to a question they have. It's not necessarily a technical support hotline, but maybe there's just some high-level, quick, generic type questions where you can post a quick question out there. These discussion boards are open 24/7. I've seen people get responses within minutes, and then some of them it may have taken a little while. They might have taken 24 hours to get a response. It just really depends on who's able to help address those questions. Maybe you don't even get the answer. You might be pointed in the direction of someone you can reach out to or some organization that can help. So it's just another kind of helpline, if you will. And it's a great area for you to gain and share your experiences and best practices and advice. And as I was showing you, there's a membership directory out here as well. This is where, you can find other members. So we'll just show you, quickly the ask a question. This brings you to ask your peers. You can see what's currently trending. This question was posted an hour ago. Looks like somebody's probably actually responding to saying thanks for the help to somebody that had posted the question. So there's a little bit of thread kind of going on here with this particular seven responses back and forth. So some in-depth information there. And then also I was talking about the member directory. We can go over here and we can search out the directory if maybe there's somebody's first name, last name, or company, or even an email address. And then there's also the advanced search. This can narrow down your search perhaps even a little bit more. So if if you're looking for a specific type of an organization in a city, state, or country, maybe in a specific industry, or by their specific role, or maybe if they're using a certain module, or if they're on a certain version. And you can click these and find the member, and it'll bring back all the GPUG members that are pertinent to your query. So it's another way to connect. A lot of folks find value in meeting with folks in their industry or their area, and each user group has discussion boards and the membership directory as well. Excuse me, Academy training now. This is another aspect, another way of bringing knowledge sharing to our members. I'll point out that our Academy trainings, anybody's welcome to attend these, but if you do have a membership with the UG, the user group, you do get a 50% discount off of the Academy. So this is one of the benefits, that there is a fee above and beyond what your membership fee is, but it is at a discounted rate for our members. And this is distance learning, so it's a virtual classroom. You're not going to have to travel anywhere and incur an additional expense to take this classroom type training. We provide you with a portal to log into, and in many cases, The class is actually using a live instance of the Dynamics solution, whether it's CRM, AX, NAV, GP. You're using a live instance, and you're able to practice what you learn, why you learn it, in an instance of Dynamics. The instructors are subject matter experts on whatever the topic of the course is. You can interact with the other students as well as the instructor, and it is it is targeted content. Excuse me. Most of our classes are typically of the 4-hour variety. So I haven't picked on AXUG. We're going to go to the axug.com under Learn and Engage, AXUG Academy, and so as I was saying, the majority of our courses are of the 4-hour variety. You can check out under axug.com. We have classes scheduled, I think, throughout some of the year. This one here goes all the way to December. So yes, there are classes out there. We try to schedule them in advance as quickly as we can. We can just drill into this one real quickly to show you an idea of what the format. So again, here's a description of the class. What are the objectives? Who is the audience? Obviously, anybody can attend, but we try to help it narrow down these classes so you're attending courses that best suit your interest levels. It's for beginners. What are the requisites? Just some basic knowledge. And then the speakers, tells you who's speaking on this course. And then over here to the right, the registration of this class. You can see here, if I have a membership, it's $419. If I do not have a paid membership to AXUG, I pay the fee of $838 for this class. So there is some value in having a membership if you're interested in Academy courses. That is and each user group does have a number of classes under the Academy as well. Jumping into the Summit Conference, this is the largest event that each user group hosts annually. This year, Summit 2015 will be in Reno, Nevada, the week of October 13th through the 16th. Basically, it's a week filled with education. The conference itself doesn't start till like Tuesday night, where we do an expo reception. We do have a huge expo where there are ISV exhibitors there for each product line in one expo hall, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are jam-packed, filled with hundreds of sessions that we try to narrow down by role and also by level. So if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, so there's sessions for HR, payroll, administrator, finance, really pretty much any role in the organization that might touch the Dynamics product itself. So I mentioned it's a week filled with education. The Monday and Tuesday prior to the conference, we do have what we call optional pre-conference Academy training on site. So instead of taking the courses through a virtual classroom like we do through distance learning year-round, once a year we bring it on site and we do it prior to the conference in 2 days. There's typically up to potentially 4 courses you could take, because there's an AM 4-hour course, a PM 4-hour course, and then on both days. And there's anywhere from 10 to 20, 30 different classes for each UG offered in those 2-day time frame. Summit itself, it is the largest conference dedicated specifically to the Dynamics software product you are using. So we are running 4 distinct separate conferences simultaneously, typically in one location, and most of the times relatively to one conference center. But it is a separate conference for AXUG or AX customers, for CRMUG or CRM customers, and GPUG and NAVUG. So there are separate conferences. The only time you'd probably ever intermingle with any other Dynamics product lines is at meal times or during the expo times. Otherwise, your conference is, everybody there is an AX customer or a GP or a NAV or CRM customer, so the networking can begin almost immediately. You already have one thing in common. You're using the same product. It's not your typical conference. We try to bring very unique and distinct different ways of bringing knowledge to you. we're always coming up with new ways every year to help network and break some of the ice to get you connected. We will be launching our registration to our conference starting in March. There is early bird pricing, and again, this is one of the only other benefits of the user groups, that there is an additional fee above and beyond your membership fee, but our members do get a $200 per person summit registration discount. So it's a nice little benefit for you being a member to the UG. If you wanted to read a little bit more, let's jump over to nabug.com. You can go under the home page, under conferences, and you can click on NABUG Summit. And this is going to give you some of the background information from last year's event. Obviously, this year isn't until October, so we don't have a lot of the agenda or education sessions available at this point in time, but we did want to have some information out there so you can kind of get an overview, get a flavor, get an understanding for what the conference is all about and what types of topics we cover by just going out and checking out what we did last year. Again, it's in Reno, Nevada, 12th through the 16th. Which brings us into the volunteering and leadership. So just like many other membership-based type organizations out there, we do rely almost explicitly on volunteering. All of our sessions are brought to you primarily by other users, and in many cases, there are other Microsoft MVPs, as they're called, most valuable. Well, not most valuable player, but they're MVPs. They've had to go through a lot of certifications, trainings, a lot of requirements to earn that status from Microsoft, so a lot of those folks are presenting. There are ISV partners out there that do some presenting. We also have VAR partners out there that have expertise or a subject matter expert that do some of the presenting. But the majority of our sessions, our events, are led by other users. And so, this is an opportunity for you to build on some leadership skills or your network or professional growth, career growth. Gives you more visibility into the user group in the community. It's going to help you acquire some new insights into some of the features and functionality of GP. And so it's a huge aspect of our organizations is people stepping forward, and no activity that you help out with is too small. Any way people contribute is highly recognized, very valuable, and very appreciated, and makes the community stronger for that. So there's plenty of opportunities. If you wanted to learn a little bit more, again, under the homepage of any of the UGs under Learn and Engage, and then you can click on the volunteer. Excuse me, voice is getting a little hoarse, but and so you can search out interest areas. You can also notify me when opportunities become available, or you can just kind of snoop through some of the options out there. So now we're going to jump into just kind of the quick one-page or fact sheet or overview of each of the UGs. This is GPUG. Our website is www.gpug.com. I am Bob Baresh. I am the GPUG Membership Manager. My contact credentials are listed. If you ever have any questions at any point in time about anything GPUG related, connect with me. GPUG has over 16,500 contacts, and it continues to grow every day. As far as chapters, we have 50 active chapters globally. And when I say globally, that's primarily North America. They're primarily in the U.S., a couple in Canada, and I think we're just recently launching one in Australia. So it is global. 26 different special interest groups or SIGs, 60+ academy trainings annually. Those are the GPUG Academy courses. One of the specific things under Academy is we offer what we call the professional certificates for accounts payable, accounts receivable, business intelligence, and administrator. I'll jump over to that real quickly to show you where you can locate more information if you're interested to read more. It's under Learn and Engage GPUG Academy, And then as you scroll down over here to your right, we have a community or a page, a community specific to accounts payable, accounts receivable. The other two, I mentioned BI and administrator. We are doing a formal launch or announcement in March because these are two new certificates we are announcing in 2015. So we currently don't have a page dedicated or community set up for those, but coming soon in March, that will be available. You can also reach out to me with any additional questions around our certificate program. And then just real quickly, the Summit Conference for GPUG. Last year we had 900 attendees. This year we're expecting over 1,000. So it continues to grow. And then this box right here, you're going to see the pricing or fees for the membership. And across all of our UGs, the way we classify your membership is based on the size of your organization. And the way we have set forth to determine the size of your organization is based on the number of licenses your organization owns on your Dynamics product line. In this case, GP. How many GP licenses do you have? If your organization has 1 to 9 licenses, you're a small business, and your annual membership is $400. Keeping in mind that that membership is a company-wide membership, it's not individual. So for $400, anybody in your organization, unlimited participants in GPUG and our programming and benefits can leverage and take advantage of the education and learning. And then so on and so forth. 10 to 49 licenses, you're classified mid-market. It's a $700 annual fee for your entire company. 50 or more GP licenses enterprise, and it's $950. If you notice over on the left here, I have a couple of asterisks. GPUG has been in existence for 9 years. This has been our pricing structure for the past 9 years. Our board got together and said, based on many things that are happening, based on all the additional programming and benefits we've offered throughout the years and added to the memberships, they said, hey, it's time that we need to increase the pricing of our membership fees to continue to bring the programming we expand the quality. And so effective April 1st, 2015, the pricing over here will increase. Small businesses is going to go to $450, mid-market will go to $800, and enterprise will go to $1,100. So just wanted to make sure to call that out so that you were aware that this pricing is only in effect through April 1st. All right, jumping over to AXUG.com. This is our AX user group. Tanya Anderson is our membership manager for AXUG. This is her contact credentials. Any questions related to AX, she would be more than happy to assist. You can also reach out to me as well. I'd be happy to help any way I can, but she is kind of the go-to. Kind of the facts about AXUG, they do have over 15,000 contacts. They have 56 active chapters globally. That is North America as well as Europe, and I think a few other outlying countries as well. They entertain 28 special interest groups, or SIGs. They do over 50 academy trainings annually, and last year they had over 1,100 attendees, and I believe this year they are expecting probably somewhere around 1,300 or so attendees to the Summit Conference. Their pricing is just slightly different. There's only 2 levels. We consider any company with 1 to 99 AX licenses, small or mid-market, their annual membership is $800. And then 100 or more licenses is enterprise. I know I get a lot of questions from folks asking, well, can only 1 to 99 people in my organization utilize the benefits of the membership? No. We only use the number of licenses to classify you as small, mid, or enterprise. The membership is unlimited to anybody in your organization. There is no cap. Everybody can participate. So just wanted to reiterate that because that is a question we get quite often, and I know it's maybe weighing on your minds and sometimes can be confusing. All right, jumping over to CRMUG. CRMUG.com is the website. Brian Ersted, he is the membership manager. His contact credentials are listed. He is your go-to guy for anything CRMUG related. CRMUG does have over 13,000 contacts. They have 76 chapters globally, 14 special interest groups, 40 academy trainings annually, and then the CRM Administrator Black Belt. We're going to just go over and take a quick look at this because this is a very, let's see, where did CRMUG go? It's way over here. Or no, it's not. I apologize. Right there it is. So we're going to jump to CRMUG. Under CRMUG Academy, This is a program we introduced last year called the Black Belt Training. You can read a little bit more verbatim here on under Learn and Engage Academy, but we're just going to click on this Black Belt series. These are Academy courses to help you earn stepping up, just like your Black Belt in Taekwondo or Karate. You can, looks like here, starting in March 4th, you can start with a blue belt, you can jump right up to the purple belt, and then the brown and the black. These are trainings, and I believe there's like a test you pass afterward to earn that belt. We physically actually send and mail you out your belt. And this has been a very popular introduction in 2014, and so we're continuing it on in 2015. And it's really kind of the administrator side of Black Belt. I believe I've kind of stepped in a little bit on one of the beginner courses, and I am not an administrator, I am a CRM user. Dynamic Communities, Inc., we are a company that uses Great Plains or GP, Dynamics GP, as well as the Dynamics CRM. So we also dog food, as well as we're members and participate in our user groups for learning and knowledge. So back to this PowerPoint. Last year, CRMUG had over 600 attendees to their conference, and this year I believe we're expecting closer to 800. And then looking at the pricing, you know, kind of similar again to some of our other user groups. 1 to 9, you're considered a small business. So if you have 1 to 9 CRM licenses, that's $400. 10 to 99, mid-market, $700. And then 100 or more CRM licenses, you are classified as an enterprise organization where you pay $1,200 annually for your entire organization's membership. Last but not least, NAVUG, navug.com. Judy Thompson, she's our NAVUG membership director. Her contact information is listed. NAVUG has over 7,100 contacts currently in our database, 12 active chapters globally, 12 special interest groups, 20-plus Academy trainings annually, as well as they had 500 attendees at Summit last year, and I believe this year they're expected to be somewhere between 600 and 700. And then the pricing looks accordingly here. 1 to 20, that's a small business, $400. 21 to 75 is mid-market, that's $700 annually. And then 76 or more licenses is enterprise, which is $1,200 annually. So keeping in mind that each one of these user groups does have its own separate distinct business, it's its own membership. We do have companies out there that do have multiple Dynamics product lines. So as an example, I know of, we have a member or company out there that uses both AX and GP, and they have memberships to both. The most common one is where we'll see CRM, and that company might also have AX, GP, or NAV. Their company has memberships to both product groups, so they can leverage the education and training. So it's not uncommon for companies to have a membership with more than one of our user groups. So you might be asking yourself, you know, why is it important to join a Dynamics user group? You can learn a lot of valuable Dynamics software features from, functions that may be otherwise sitting idle. Many times, folks, they'll buy the software and not completely realize or understand where we're never trained or learned all the features or functions that the product has. Excel is an example for me. I use Excel. I only know about a thimbleful of the features and functions that Excel offers. I know if I learned them all, it could make my life much easier. It's no different than with your Dynamics product lines. I'm sure there's features and functions sitting out there that could make your life much easier if you were aware or knew how to use them. Answers to questions about your Dynamics software. We have a discussion board. You can go ahead and post a question and hopefully get a quick answer within a relative short time frame. Great opportunity to network with other users and share experiences. We, as I talked about there on our volunteer page, we're user-driven. Primarily everything we do is done by some other user out there that has the knowledge or experience on whatever the topic or educational event is. Unlimited, endless learning opportunities. Unlimited educational resources for your entire organization. Again, one low fee, one membership for your entire company. We talked about this already as well. There's anonymous attendance to all of our UG events. We don't share who attends our events, so you don't have to worry about any outside solicitation or marketing. And there's numerous opportunities, again, for your professional development and career growth. And there's plenty of other reasons why a user group can be important to your organization. Exclusive offers. So you may have saw this in the invite that you received to attend today's webinar. This was in effect since February 1st or 2nd. It does run through March 13th. Because Socius, is a strong supporter behind the user groups, they're big advocates, and because you are one of their customers, we were able to work out a deal where you can receive a 15% discount off your membership fees if you sign up or join through March 13th of 2015. The coupon code is listed right here. This is what you'll need to enter when you go through the join process, and these are the websites you can join. So it's basically gpug.com/join. We can jump out there real quickly. There's a big join button right up here in the top right-hand corner when you're on the gpug.com website. When you click this, this is going to take you kind of to that overview we already talked about for the pricing. For those of you who may not be ready to pull the trigger, we do offer a 30-day free trial for each of our UGs. You can try us out for 30 days just like you were a paid member and experience all the programming and benefits. But keeping in mind, for GPUG specifically, prices increase April 1st, as well as the promo offers expires on March 13th. Basically, you're going to enter in your email address right here. I'm going to just put in john@doe.com, see if this works. I haven't tried this before. It's probably not going to recognize this email, and so it's going to continue to prompt me. So it's jumping me over to crmug.com. Not sure why. I must be pulling up my cache and recognizing who I am, so it's pulling me in. So I guess I can't even go through a quick how to join, but basically when you hit join, you put in your email address and follow through with the prompts. It may ask you a few more questions about your personal profile, your company profile, and at the end, you do have the option to make payment right then and there with a credit card. And we do realize some companies, need to get a purchase order, need an invoice, need a quote, and they need to pay by check. That option is available as well as pay by wire. But joining is hopefully a relatively easy process, and throughout that join, there will be a box which appears where you can enter in this promo code, and it will deduct 15% off your membership fees. I did have to note down here, if there are existing members out there, this promotional code or offer is not valid for any of your current membership renewal fees. So I know I've been speaking a lot to digest. We still have a few minutes left, and so I'm going to flip to this page and open it up for questions and answers. Basically some of the best lessons in your life are learned from your peers. In your business, it's no different. Your peers are waiting for you. Cheryl, I'm not sure if there are any questions that are pending out there, but be happy to entertain any questions anybody might have.
It looks like we don't have any yet. To remind everyone, you can just either raise your hand or type your question into the questions box, and I'll go ahead and unmute you or read off your question whenever you do get those submitted. So just hang with us for a couple minutes here. Bob, we do have a question here.
Super. What do we got?
Oh, they're asking if the slide deck will be available after the presentation.
I can certainly make that available to you. I can send it over to you, Cheryl. I know you are recording this webinar, so the webinar is recorded. So if you would like to rebroadcast it for your own personal use, or if you'd like to broadcast it to your business decision makers within your organization or other colleagues to see if this can be a valuable resource, I'm sure Cheryl would be happy to get you the link, and you can utilize that recording as you wish.
And let's see, what else do we have here? Can you tell us again what the pricing for GPUG will increase to in April?
Absolutely. So we'll just jump back up to that page real quick. So April 1st, small business memberships, that goes to $450. Mid-market jumps to $800, and enterprise jumps to $1,100. So depending on where you fall in based on the number of licenses your organization owns, that's where you're classified under small, mid, or enterprise. So great question. Thank you.
CRM has different licenses, professional, basic, and essential. How is pricing for CRM UG determined?
All right, let's jump back to that page for CRM UG. So there really isn't any, I'm not sure where the professional, basic, or I can't remember what the third one is, but the paid memberships are as follows. 1 to 9 is a small business or $400. 10 to 99 is mid-market or $700. And then 100 plus is enterprise or $1,200. You know, basically, when we go back to this join page, and I think I might have been on navog.com, but it's going to be maybe similar here. We do have the 30-day trial. So again, that's free, no obligation. You join for 30 days. If you do nothing, you revert to what we call a subscription. You're technically not a member, but you're in our database. And you will receive emails from us on upcoming events, what things are happening. The thing is when you try to go to join any of our events, when you go to the page and you sign in, it'll say this event is for members only, and so it will not allow you to register for the event. So I think that may be a question you're having is we have members who pay to belong to the user group, and then there are subscribers. They haven't paid anything, they're not a member, but they do receive notifications and updates and things to that nature of what's going on in that user group. It's basically kind of a marketing piece to say, hey, here's what you're missing out on, wouldn't you like to be a member too? And then the 30-day trial. So those are really kind of your three options. Hopefully that was that helped to clarify that question.
It looks like that's all we have for now, Bob.
Well, all right. I absolutely appreciate you allowing me the time to spend with you. If you have any questions whatsoever about any of the user groups, bob@gpug.com, go ahead and shoot me an email. And if I am unable to assist, I will direct you to Brian, Tanya, or Judy. But you can use me kind of as the central point of contact. And again, I certainly appreciate and thank you for your time.
Thanks, Bob. Have a good day.
All right. Everybody have a great day, too. Bye.